Well, hello everyone. So, last time we finished Wild Arms, and now it's time for some one-offs. So, before my next longer project, which I kind of have a couple ideas, I gotta kind of narrow them down. So what we're gonna do for one-offs is kind of go on a theme. Last time we did one-offs, we did HAL Laboratories, right? So we did Arcana, and Kirby, and Air Fortress. This time, we're going to do submarine simulators, a genre of game that I've been a big fan of for a long time, albeit kind of in the background. Silent Service for NES. It was a game that you can get for PC now, or for whatever, I think. An old DOS game that shows up on GOG and stuff now. But the NES version, I actually bought the PC version from GOG, and it's not actually as nice as the NES version. This is the NES version. It's one of the first games I ever bought. I think, let's see, I got my NES in June of 1989, and I'm pretty sure I got this game for Christmas of that same year. And so it might be the second or third game that I got, something like that. And it really put a big influence on me in the sense that, I don't know, I was just a big fan of submarines afterward for pretty much ever. There's not a whole lot of really good submarine simulators out there, but I found a few of them, and we'll be going through those over the next couple of episodes. So let's get started here. This is a World War II diesel submarine simulator. You play on the side of the Americans, and you do various stuff trying to fight the Japanese Navy. There's a couple of different things that you can do. This is convoy actions. Basically, what it is it is a short. What's the word I'm looking for? It's a short mission that you just play through the single mission and try to, get through it without getting killed. We'll start with an example of this. I actually broke this game out the other day, and I played this convoy action. See, once you select a convoy action, it gives you the scenario, and then you get to choose your difficulty level. So, I can kind of do that, and you get an overall difficulty level, and that kind of tells you what rank you'll get depending on your score. So, when I played this over the weekend, I died once and then I survived once. So let's see if I can do this. All right. So, pretty standard thing here. Oh look, we've already got that. So we're on the surface. Depth is 0. Speed is 10. We've got a bunch of different ships. You target ID them. Generally, there are two different types of ships that you have to worry about. The destroyers, and then there's another one that I forget the name of. But they're the ones that are really dangerous. So we're going to launch a couple bow torpedoes at these guys. This is a old American diesel sub, so it's pretty basic as far as what it can do. Let's take a look at the gauges. So this is kind of cool, right? You've got your battery, which it's a diesel sub, so when you're on the surface you run the diesel engines to charge the batteries, and then underwater you use the batteries to run the engines. You've got your speed, you've got your depth, you've got your torpedoes. Looks like I sunk an enemy ship. That destroyer is on its way here, and we're going to launch a couple more torps at these guys. And you can only have a certain number of weapons out at once, so yeah. You pick up distant explosions on sonar. That tells you whether you're on track or not. Yeah. And the crew kind of does a decent job of tracking or leading ships. And so you're kind of limited by the number of torpedoes that you have in the tubes. But you have bow tubes and aft tubes. So the trick is, we got destroyers firing on us. So the trick is, we're going to go to tactical view, and we're going to start making a turn left rudder. We're taking some damage. We were going to try to aim for a heading of about 180. And the reason that we're going to do that is so that we can, we're also going to speed up. Because the subs, they will ram you, and it is bad. Alright, that's close enough, I think. Now we need to aim almost straight north. Here's that. Now he's headed straight for us, and he's moving like crazy. But we can fire aft torpedoes because we still have some in the tubes. And those will go toward him, and hopefully we'll be able to take him out before he gets to us. You notice that he's going 28 knots, which is a little faster than we can manage, even on the surface. Yeah. And the bow and the aft torpedoes load up gradually. And we're taking some physical damage here. Alright, that should take him out. We're pretty close to it. And he's still coming after us. Yeah, he's getting real close. But we got him. That's it. So we took all the ships out. We took some damage, but we did not get sunk. So that's kind of how that works out. And so you just, throw your name up if you want. And it, it Morse codes it for you. Yeah. So, there we go. So, your Submariner gets ranked by difficulty level first, then the number of tons sunk. So, as you can see, your final rank is dependent on both of those. Even though I sank more tons than Growler right above me, he got Lieutenant Commander, and I'm still a Lieutenant JG Grade 3. Whatever. So the convoy actions are pretty fun. They're short. They don't take a lot of time. I haven't played this in... Aside from the time that I played Scenario 2 a couple times over the weekend, I haven't played this in years. Since I found this game, I found other, much better submarine simulators, I must say. And we'll be covering some of those in the next couple of weeks. Let's figure this out. We'll take it easy. We'll see what this is all about. Okay, so now we're underwater. The sub makes a different sound when you're underwater, which is kind of nice. 42 feet is about the periscope depth. We've got a bunch of ships basically right over there. So we're going to raise the periscope and get some ID on them. There's the destroyer. And there, Kaibokan. Yeah. Kaibokan is the other ship that will shoot you. And you can't fire the deck gun while you're underwater, so... Uh-oh. So we're probably going to get killed here. Because that destroyer is going to get right above us and basically he's going to depth charge us to death. So we're probably going to lose this one. Yep, there's depth charges. We are not gonna have fun with this one because we are going down, and you can't surface really. You just kind of die, and you can't shoot back because you don't have any way to check on your torpedoes. So as soon as you get hit while you're underwater, if you can't repair it while you're underwater, you basically sink below crush depth, and that's it. Crush depth is about 300 feet. And I think there's very little chance that we're going to make it out of this one. Yeah. So, here's what happens when you get under crush depth. Maybe it's 400 feet. Anyway, we're basically done for. Yep, test depth exceeded, 450. And we're done. So, there's a trick to it, right? Here's our final SOS. Yeah, that didn't go so well. What was that? That was Grayback? I think that was Grayback. So we'll try that one more time. So now we're going to try a slightly different tactic here. Check our gauges. We just fired a full spread of torpedoes front-wise. Now we're going to speed up and we're going to turn around. As soon as our heading is see, they speed right over to you. Also, the frame rate chugs. That's an aft torpedo. Yeah, the frame rate chugs. We just sank him. But we missed with that torpedo. So we're going to start turning again. Depth charges. Now that the scope's underwater again. Yeah, the periscope's messed up, the bridge deck is messed up. And we're gonna cross. We're gonna crush depth pretty quickly. So they're lowering our leakage. We're down 102 GPM, gallons per minute. Sounds like a lot, but 96. More depth charges. Yeah, we're done. So this time we took out one Kaiboken and one destroyer, and we'll just not worry about that. So it's pretty tough. I mean, it's not easy. We're gonna try it one more time, and we're gonna try a slightly different tactic. So right now they're at 270, and our heading is 270. We're going to actually see if we can't make a turn. Actually, so they're closing on us already. So what we're gonna do is troop ship, don't care. Kaibokan. You can tell which ones are the destroyers that are closing on you because they turn directly towards you immediately. So I'm going to throw 2 torps at them, and then I'm going to basically turn and surface. And now, if they don't ram us, which they might, now they can hit us with shells, but enemy ship sunk. So now it's time. I think we've taken out all of the... Yeah, so now we need to make a turn. Full right rudder. We're going to head toward the rest of that group, and we're going to see if we can't chase them down. So their bearing on us is about 90 degrees. No, I'm sorry, 270. And we're going to get right on them. They can only move 8 knots, so if we can get at them, then we'll be in pretty good shape. The thing is, the trick is that if you can damage those destroyers and Kaibokans, if you can damage all of them, I mean all of them, it usually slows them down a little bit so they can't ram you if you're on the surface and moving at flank speed, 20 knots. They can make 28 if they're, they can make 28 if they're undamaged, but... Okay, yeah, see, they're turning. So we're going to keep turning so that we keep on them, basically. What do you think, about 300 degrees? That sounds about right. Check our gauges. Yeah, so our bow torpedoes are completely used up. So we need to wait for those tubes to get reloaded. And we only have about 80 rounds of the deck guns, so... There we go. He's going down. Come on. Yeah, he's slowing down. See, 6 knots. 5 knots. We're going to cut down to... Because we're close enough now that we can hit them with whatever we got. He's almost down. Nice. And he's sinking. And that's it. So, we kind of took that on the easiest possible level. That was a tough one because you start detected. You start underwater. There's 3 different enemy ships that you have to take out before they destroy you. And just because of the way the game's set up, if you take a hit underwater, you're pretty much done for. I mean, you almost never survive that. So, that was that. And that's not, you know, we did it on the easiest difficulty level, so whatever, right? But so that's one of the things that you can do with this. I haven't played this in a while. So torpedo gun practice is probably just here's some ships and shoot them down. Oh yeah. So they're just in a line, and you just whatever. 1, 2. 1, 2. One, 2. Our heading is 90. This guy's bearing is minus 135. Oh, it's 45. So. So you just basically shoot a couple of ships down, just for practice. And to maybe play with the controls a bit. And if the ships aren't moving, then your guys don't know how to lead them properly. So... all of those torpedoes missed. What a waste. Anyway, you can end the scenario by... oh yeah, that's the quartermaster's log. As you can end the scenario, it's just practice, so nuts. The other thing that this game has is war patrols. And so what you do is you pick a ship of, you know, whatever you want. And, you know, so we'll go with the Seawolf. So for the war patrol, we'll leave repairs under fire on, because otherwise things get really ridiculous. But I think convoy search is fine. This is not too bad. So basically, you get onto this screen and you get to basically run around, and you get day-night cycles, which is kind of cool. And they've actually modeled like cargo paths. You have a certain number of days of fuel, and you basically hunt for enemy, and you check and see what you've got on the map, for instance. So we've just barely got some of them on, at, you know, somewhere in the southeast kind of direction. That's what convoy search does, is it puts you at a longer distance to them when you're starting out, which can be good for dealing with destroyers and stuff, right? So I'm going to bring my speed up a little bit, because we're still, you know, a few thousand yards out. And we're headed in their general direction. And I'm just going to watch the maps, because they'll flicker in and out because of the limited visibility, until eventually we get close enough that we can actually detect them. And then I spend a couple minutes figuring out what the what their course and bearing and makeup is, and I kind of, unfortunately, the tactical region thing is not especially useful. It's like the attack plot is way too freaking small, and the tactical region is a little bit too big. So I'm thinking that I've got 3 ships here, no escorts. So this is a pretty good opportunity, right? They're moving 7 knots. They haven't changed course yet. Their course is 300. So what does that mean? If their course is 300, that means they're basically coming straight at me and a little bit to the west. So I should be able to take these guys out without any problems. I'm going to switch back to 2/3 speed, and I'm going to start launching torps at these guys. And the thing about war patrols is that you still get limited ammo. So they're going to start moving away from me as fast as they possibly can. But unfortunately, they're all fairly slow ships. 8 knots seems to be their max speed. So we're not going to have too much trouble keeping up with them, as long as we don't get a bunch of, what do you call it, escort ships showing up. And they are changing their bearing to us, so we're going to get up behind them so that we can keep chasing them. I'm going to go for a heading of like 200 or 210 maybe. Try to basically aim ahead of them. We're going to throw some fire at them. And that looks like 1 ship down. Yep. Yeah. Let me give this guy a little attention. Yeah. There goes another ship. So the deck gun is actually pretty hefty in this game. Like, it's not like it's just like a little pea shooter. It actually can sink ships. So. Yeah, he's crippled. That ship is down. And this guy will be down in a minute. It looks like that torpedo's right on him. That's it. He's done for. Check the map. I don't see anything on the map. So, let's check our armaments. Yeah, I think we're good to go. Let's move on. So in the manual for this game, there's a whole bunch of like trade routes and stuff that are marked on the map, so you can kind of get a better idea of where you want to do your hunting. But I didn't look at the manual before I started playing this, so now here's a question for you. If I return to port and then leave again, I don't get to refuel, but do I get my armaments back? Maybe. I don't know. I doubt it. Alright. Got him again. Looks like they're basically... We've got some intermittent contacts to the north. Nothing to see yet. We'll speed up a bit so that we can catch up to them. The other cool thing is that if you looked at the screen while I was choosing which war patrol to be on, it had different ships at different times during the World War II. And one of the cool things about that is that depending on the time, that is the year and month that you choose, you know, troop transport levels may be higher or lower than before, than normal. Try to get IDs on these guys. So if you look over here, you'll see that the battery is slowly draining, especially since we're making 10 knots. And for some reason, the torpedoes didn't reload. I guess I have to wait for the torpedoes to reload before I switch. I can change the time scale over here. That's what the clock does. They're up there. I can see them flashing. I'm not sure exactly why that works that way, but so it does. They're still way off in the distance. My battery's, 1/3. They must be moving pretty quick. I guess this is good in the sense that it's giving me time to reload my torpedo tubes. Come on, guys. Batteries don't last very long. I was hoping that I'd get close enough to them, but it looks like that's not going to happen, so up we go. Now we're making 20 knots on the surface. And we should be recharging our batteries too. There they are. Alright, we got them. What do we got? A destroyer. At 5,000 yards and closing. Fast. They're firing on us. Troop ship. Torpedo him. Dang it. And they are sunk. Alright. Now we've got this guy. Looks like it's a troop ship. Pretty heavy one, too. And a tanker. They are at bearing about 352, so we're gonna head straight for them. They can't get away from us now. Oh no. No, no. Alright. They're a little too far for the deck gun, I think. But they're both moving 8 knots. I think we've got them. Is there anybody else on the map? I sure don't see anybody. Alright. I'm going to fire 1 torp at each of them. I notice the battery's recharging a little bit. That troop ship is down. One more torp at him. I think we can get him. Checking the map. Yeah, torp's on its way. You can see the map, the torp's on the attack plot, which is kind of nice. Let's see if it hits him. We're getting pretty close, so we're gonna slow down. We don't want to ram him. Oh, he's down. Yeah, we got him. Alright. So that's great. We're gonna... Oh, we're completely out of bow torpedoes. So that means... And we're almost out of deck gun. So that means we have maybe one more shot. What we have to do... This is ridiculous, but what we have to do is fire aft torpedoes, primarily. Because we only have 2 more bow torpedoes. So... Let's continue the patrol. We also only have 25 more days of fuel, so it's... Oh boy, this looks fun. What do we got? Destroyer, tanker. Okay, so their bearing is 350. We're going to turn away from them and fire like crazy, and we're going to get the heck out of here. So 350 minus 180 is going to be 170. Yep, they're pinging us. Yep. Okay, let's get some shots off. Looks like that's a destroyer. Yeah, that's a destroyer. Well, that's alright. We can take them. This is a Kaibokan. And we're going to keep our turn up. Because we might get taken out this time. Enemy ship sunk. Not bad. What's our range? We're gonna hit that guy with one more torp, hopefully. Assuming it's not a dud or anything. We got one more bow torpedo. Took out the Kaibokan. Alright, we're good. Let's turn toward them. Yeah. Alright, we're gonna head toward them. We're gonna try to take them out. Anything that we can't take out, we're gonna... Let's see, what is that bearing? Probably like 30 degrees. Oh yeah, right on. They shall feel our wrath. Maybe. We're going to close on them. That troop ship is pretty tasty looking. It's the heaviest out of them. Tanker's second. We're basically going to close in on them. I think we only have a couple shots left of the gun. 2 more shots. That's it for the gun. But it did seem to do some damage, so that's great. Here's our last torpedo in the front. That's a hit. Now all we need to do is turn around and hit them, pelt them with aft torpedoes as much as we can. So I slowed down. And once I'm turned a decent amount, I'll quit the turn and see if we can't fire some aft torpedoes at these guys. A couple of aft torpedoes his way. And we're out of aft torpedoes again, so let's turn back toward them. We have 4 more aft torpedoes, but that's it. Then we're out of weaponry entirely. That's a hit. We're going to aim for a heading of about 45 degrees. We're going to close in again. Make that 50 degrees. They've got speeds of about 8 knots. So if we're going 14, we'll catch up with them gradually. The one that we really want is if we have to choose one or the other, and we probably do not. Well, we probably do actually. We want this guy. He's a little heavier. So we'll aim for the tanker. That means he's at about 73 degrees. And we'll do the same tactic. We'll get up. We'll slowly creep up on him. We don't need to go fast. We'll wait for some torpedoes to get loaded. And then we will unload on him. Yeah. $2,900. $2,700. $23, $22. Alright, that's pretty good. Cut back down to 1. Change my rudder. Let's try this. I think we can hit him now. Yep. Aft torpedo fired. Oh, and you can't change the timescale when there's actually fish in the water. That looks like it might miss. Fire one more. Yeah, it missed. I think. And we gotta get on him again, so we'll head to about 80 degrees. We may get him. We may. But it's gonna take... We've got 2 more aft torpedoes. Oh, that was a hit. He's on fire. And he's slowed down. So we're gonna catch him. I got pretty lucky, honestly. I don't want to catch him too fast. One more aft torpedo to load. The chance of that single torpedo being able to take out another ship is basically 0. But just for the sake of tacticalness, I guess we'll call it good. What can we do here? Come on, let's do this. We're gonna get nice and close. We're gonna hit him with that torpedo. Oh yeah, he's getting awful close. Alright, back to normal time. Back to slow. Do a right rudder turn this time. As soon as we get around, say, 200 on heading, we'll see about firing some aft torpedoes at him. Alright. We should be able to hit him from here. Let's do it! He's a sitting duck now. Only got 3 knots on him. And that sinks him. Alright. We're going to head due north now. Because I think we might still be able to get that last torp off on that other guy. Flank speed. He's not on the map anymore. Oh, there he is. There he is. It's popping up. Alright. We've got a visual. Say that's maybe 330, 320 degrees. We'll catch him. We'll hit him with 1 torp. That's all we got left. The amount of ordnance that we've thrown at this guy is kind of amazing. Back to normal timescale. Ooh, nightfall. Purple means night, I guess. There he is. Range is 3,500. Moving in fast. 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22. Even faster than that. Alright. Slow down. Turn. We'll hit him. Need to get to a little bit more than 270 away. Alright, there we go. That should do it. There we go. We can hit him with 1 torpedo. Hope for the best. And there's basically, I think, about a 0% chance of this sinking him, but we'll see. It hits. It does not sink. And we are completely out of ammo. So let's get out of here. We're not gonna bother with any more fights because we can't sink anything this way. And we finish our war patrol. Arrived at base. There we go. So even on that fairly easy difficulty level, I sank 60,000 tons worth of shipping, and I got Vice Admiral Class 5, so that's not too bad. And that's worth putting my nom de guerre in there. Okay, I get it. Thank you. And, hey, there I am, up on 3rd place. Lower difficulty, but tonnage does count. Anyway. Oh, and by the way, WGSC, if you look it up in the manual, it stands for World's Greatest Submarine Captain. So that's a little bit of a difficult one to make up to. Anyway, so that was Silent Service. Friday, we will be starting up a much better submarine simulator, if not as much. I don't know. So there's a thing about submarine simulators. They can either be really fun or they can be really simulatory. And the next few entries, we're going to have one that's fun, we're going to have one that's very simulatory, and we're going to have one that's kind of in the middle. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. We'll get to see some more submarine action next time, and I will catch you all later.